Davy Jones' Gift by John Masefield. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Dale Grothman. Davy Jones' Gift by John Masefield. Once upon a time, said the sailor, the devil and Davy Jones came to Cardiff, to a place called Tiger Bay. They put up at Tony Adams', not far from Pierhead, at the corner of Sunday Lane. And all the time they stayed there, they used to be going to the rum shop, where they sat at a table, smoking their cigars, and dicing each other for different persons' souls. Now you must know that the devil gets landsmen, and Davy Jones gets sailor folk, and they get tired of having always the same. So then they diced each other for some of the other sort. One time they were in a place in Mary Street, having some burnt brandy and playing red and black for the people passing. And while they were looking out on the street and turning the cards, they saw all the people on the sidewalk breaking their necks to get into the gutter, and they saw all the shop people running out and kowtowing, and all the carts pulling up, and all the police saluting. "Here comes the big knob," said Davy Jones. "Yes," said the devil, "it's the bishop that's stopping with the mayor." "Red or black?" said Davy Jones, picking up a card. "I don't play for bishops," said the devil. "I respect the cloth," he said. "Come on, man," said Davy Jones. "I'd give an admiral for a bishop. Come on now, make your game. Red or black?" "Well, I say red," said the devil. "It's the ace of clubs," said Davy Jones. "I win, and it's the first bishop I've ever had in my life." The devil was mighty angry at that, at losing a bishop. "I'll not play any more," he said. "I'm off home. Some people gets too good cards for me. There was some queer shuffling when the pack was cut, that's my belief." "Ah, stay and be friends, man," said Davy Jones. "Look at what's coming down the street. I'll give you that for nothing." Now, coming down the street was a reefer, one of those apprentice fellows, and he was brass bound fit to play music. He stood about 6 feet, and there were bright brass buttons down his jacket, and on his collar, and on his sleeves. His cap had a big gold badge, with the house flag in 7 different colors in the middle of it, and a gold chain cable of chinsey twisted around it. He was wearing his cap on 3 hairs, and he was walking on both the sidewalks and all the road. His trousers were cut like windsails round his ankles. He had a fathom of red silk tie rolling out over his chest. He had a cigarette in a twisted clay holder 1.5 feet long. He was chewing tobacco over his shoulder as he walked. He'd a bottle of rum hot in one hand and a bag of jam tarts in the other, and his pockets were full of love letters from every port between Rio and Callao round by the east. "You mean to say you'll give me that?" said the devil. "I will," said Davy Jones, "and a beauty he is. I've never seen a finer." "He is indeed a beauty," said the devil. "I take back what I said about the cards. I'm sorry I spoke crusty. What's the matter with some burnt brandy?" "Brandy be it," said Davy Jones. So then they rang the bell and ordered a new jug and clean glasses. Now the devil was so proud of what Davy Jones had given him, he couldn't keep away from him. He used to hang around the East Butte docks, under the red brick clock tower, looking at the bark the young men worked aboard. Bill Harker his name was. He was in the West Coast bark, the Colonel, loading fuel for Hilo. So at last, when the Colonel was sailing, the devil shipped himself aboard her as one of the crowd in the forecastle, and away they went down the channel. At first he was very happy, for Bill Harker was in the same watch, and the two would yarn together. And though he was wise when he shipped, Bill Harker taught him a lot. There was a lot of things Bill Harker knew about. But when they were off the River Plate, they got caught in a pampero, and it blew very hard, and a big green sea began to run. The Colonel was a wet ship, and for 3 days you could stand upon her poop and look forward and see nothing but a smother of foam from the break over the poop to the jib boom. The crew had to roost on the poop. The forecastle was flooded out. So while they were like this, the flying jib worked loose. "The jib will be gone in half a tick," said the mate. "Out over there, one of you, and make it fast before it blows away." But the boom was dipping under every minute, and the waist was 4 feet deep, and the green water came about all along her length. So none of the crowd would go forward. Then Bill Harker stumbled out, and away he went forward, with the green seas smashing over him, and he lay out along the jib boom and made the sail fast, and jolly near drowned he was. "That's a brave fellow, that Bill Harker," said the devil. "Ah, come on," said the sailors. "Them reefers, they ain't got no soul to be saved." It was that set the devil thinking. By and by they came up with the horn, and if it had blown off the plate, it now blew off the roof. Talk about wind and weather. They got 'em both for shore aboard the Colonel, and it blew all the sails off her, and she rolled all her masts out, and the sea made a breach of her bulwarks, and the ice knocked a hole in her bows. So watch and watch they pumped the old Colonel, and the leak gained steadily, and they were hove under a weather cloth, 5½ degrees to the south of anything. And while they were like this, just about giving up hope, the old man sent a watch below, and told them they should start prayers. So the devil crept on to the top of the half-deck, to look through the scuttle, to see what the reefers were doing, and what kind of prayers Bill Harker was putting up. And he saw them all sitting around a table, under a lamp, with Bill Harker at the head. And each of them had a hand of cards, and a length of knotted rope yarn, and they were playing able-whackets. Each man in turn put down a card, and swore a new blasphemy. And if his swear didn't come out as he played the card, then all the others hit him with their teasers. And they never once had a chance to hit Bill Harker. "I think they were right about his soul," said the devil. He sighed like he was sad. Shortly after, the Colonel went down, and all hands drowned in her, saving only Bill Harker and the devil. They came up out of the smothering green sea, and saw the stars blinking in the sky, and heard the wind howling like a pack of dogs. They managed to get aboard the Colonel's hen house, which had come adrift, and floated. The fowls were all drowned inside, so they lived on drowned hens. As for drink, they had to do without, for there was none. When they got thirsty, they splashed their faces with salt water, but they were so cold they didn't feel thirst very bad. They drifted 3 days and 3 nights, till their skins were all cracked and salt-caked. And all the devil thought of was whether Bill Harker had a soul. And Bill kept telling the devil what a thundering big feed they would have as soon as they fetched to port, and how good a rum hot would be, and a lump of sugar, and a bit of lemon peel. And at last the old hen house came bumping on to Tierra del Fuego, and there were some natives cooking rabbits. So the devil and Bill made a raid of the whole jing-bang, and ate till they were tired. Then they had a drink out of a brook, and a warm by the fire, and a pleasant sleep. "Now," said the devil, "I'll see if he's got a soul. I'll see if he gives thanks." So after an hour or two, Bill took a turn up and down, and came to the devil. "It's mighty dull on this forgotten continent," he said. "Have you got a halfpenny?" "No," said the devil. "What in joy do you want with a halfpenny?" "I might have played you pitch and toss," said Bill. "I give up," said the devil. "You've no more soul than the inner part of an empty barrel." And with that the devil vanished in a flame of sulphur. Bill stretched himself and put another shrub on the fire. He picked up a few round shells and began a game of knuckle bones. The End of Davy Jones' Gift by John Masefield.